Today, I just wanted to say welcome to everybody that joined my channel yesterday. That was probably the biggest subscriber boost I've had in a long time. And if you're joining to try and get on this platinum grind, then go ahead and join the Discord, because everybody that joined the Discord before, I apologize, I had the settings incorrect. Now they're correct, so you can post clips, you can post videos, you can post whatever you want. So join the Discord. Everybody's helping everybody. We have veteran players, we have new players, and everybody's just doing whatever we can to get everyone to the point they want to be at. Day 2 of me trying to help you guys get the Magna skin, and we're going to start with the questions that I got yesterday, because we're going to develop this every day. We're going to start a dialogue, and then any questions you have for me, I'm going to answer them so that I can help you even better. Well, as I explained before, the season captures your highest rank, so even though I'm technically gold 4 right now, I'm still ranked 21 platinum 3 in the eyes of the game, and in the eyes of myself and my guildmates. Secondly, a lot of players in the top arena are using the same units, in the exception of a few that are meta countering to get 1, 2, and 3 right now. So the units you see in high-end plat 3 are going to be the exact same thing over and over. You're going to see a million Lakshmis, a million Christophers, a bunch of Trevors, like the same thing over and over. And that's not what gold 4 people are dealing with right now. You have to be able to put yourself in the perspective of somebody else, because if I'm sitting here recording myself doing videos of plat 3 fights where I'm just pretty much fighting the same team over and over, people are going to be building their team to fight plat 3 members, and that's not always the case, and that's not always what works. As we can see by the top 3 members, this guy's taking advantage of Madeline to take care of the spread, because the spread is what gets a lot of people to the top 50. But you see, that's whenever you're fighting the in-game players. Now, in gold, a lot of people are clumped. They have their units in a group. And people in gold 4, gold 3 and stuff are using different units. They're not using the same meta units every single time. So who does it help for me to tell you how to beat a platinum 4 or a platinum 3 player whenever you're fighting a gold 3 or gold 4 player with an entirely different mindset and entirely different strategy? So that's why my defense is weak. One, I don't care about my final rating. I will climb on the last few days. I went ahead and already set my strong defense back so that we could climb together and see how high we could get. And we'll be starting at where I'm at now. Just for anyone else watching, the mindset of, oh, why would you do that? It doesn't benefit you, is very, very selfish. Like, the whole reason that I'm doing this is to help other people get the skin, because this is a seasonal skin. It might not ever come back, and some people are just now getting into the game. The game's only been out for a month, and it's not even popular at all. So who's to say it doesn't blow up 3 months from now, and a lot of people's favorite units are Magnus, and they have no way to get the skin? That would just be entirely unfair to those people, especially the people just now starting the game. So those are the ones I want to help. If you're already platinum 4, that's great. You can continue to be platinum 4. I'll catch up with you in a few days. So that was a big one. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next questions. I'm still a bit confused between attack bar and attack speed. Both could enable heroes to attack before the opponents, right? So the way I responded and explained this is attack bar fills up to 1,000 before you take a turn, which is true. So if you see somebody does a skill that, like, it says it increases attack bar by 100, 100 is maximum. In Summoner's War in this game, it's 1,000. So increasing your attack bar by 100 only means increasing your attack bar by 1/10 of its full bar so that you can take a turn. Attack speed is the number that modifies how fast your attack bar increases. I explained it as Final Fantasy VII rules. A lot of people have played Final Fantasy VII, a lot of people haven't. The way it works is every single unit starts at 0 attack bar. Basically, the space they need to move starts at 0, and that bar increases slowly over time, albeit very slowly, so you have to put on attack speed. And the more attack speed you have on that unit, the bar will increase faster and faster and faster and faster. It's pretty much the same thing here, except in Final Fantasy VII, it's called an active attack bar, where even whenever you're taking your turn, everyone else's attack bar is still filling. Now you can set this in the setting to that game to set, which makes it like this game. As your attack bar fills, once somebody reaches maximum attack bar, the first one to reach maximum attack bar, everyone else's attack bar freezes while they decide what move they want to use. So not only does having a high attack speed ensure that you could take turns before your opponent, but if your attack speed is absolutely high enough and you're able to decrease enemy attack bar and increase your own attack speed to help fill your bar faster and make their bar fill slower, you could potentially have your entire bar fill all the way to full and take a turn before the enemy's bar is filled halfway. At which point, whenever it cycles to your attack bar filling again, it will fill all the way again and you can take a second turn. And just like running laps and track and stuff, the faster you're going, you end up lapping your enemy. So the more attack speed you have, the more turns you take overall versus your enemy, which can be a huge advantage in PvP, as well as that's pretty much meta in PvP in every single game that has attack speed. Next, now this is something I didn't really think of, because whenever you start the game, you get a bunch of gems. They just throw them at you, because I didn't think it would be a problem for people to actually get units. But then the banners are very tempting, and a lot of people don't understand that the banners are only really useful right now for getting your legendary exclusive equipment and ensuring that you get the SSR card of that unit. So a lot of people blew like all their gems on Amon, they blew all their gems on Nakri, whenever we could have just been spending our gems and spending our Neo Stones on unlocking the characters that we need. This person says, I have Farius and Ziv, but I don't have Bannon right now, and tried to replace him with Amy to deal damage and stun, but unsurprisingly, it does not work. To which I responded, if you're lacking Bannon at the moment, you may have to go full damage team, so Ziv pulls everyone into the circle, Ziv is still taking turn 1, and then with no attack buff, you're just going to have to chain AoE after AoE, like Ziv, Farius, Amy, Tala, and then another AoE like Nacris or even Kairos has one, so that instead of relying on Farius's insane skill tooltip and multipliers, you're kind of having to make up for the damage lost of his attack buff by bringing other area of effect units that are able to make up for that damage. Now the problem with this is you're not going to be able to bring a healer, so if you're going to do this strat, you definitely have to win turn 1. As we saw in our last battles, if Bannon or attack buff Farius and he was able to take out 3 or 4 units, then we pretty much won the fight. But if Farius uses his second skill, he doesn't have attack buff, they're not grouped properly, and he only does like a quarter of everyone's HP, then we're going to be sitting in a very rough position. So we need to be able to make up for that damage by bringing more damage. We're doing the cutthroat glass cannon sort of technique here, where we want to go as fast as we can and hit as hard as we can, so that by the end of our first turn, the enemy is so crippled they're unable to recover. Even if they have 1 or 2 units left, we'll still have all 5 at full health, and maybe they'll take out 1 or 2 of ours, but we still have the techniques and the power to take them out essentially with no problem. Again, if you're missing Bannon, I would go ahead and recommend just spending 1200 gems to get him, because it's not that much. The only thing he needs to do is cast his third skill, so you could literally just slap equipment on him that gives him the speed required and absolutely nothing else. He doesn't need anything else to do his job. So if you can get Bannon, go ahead and get him the speed, but if you can't, then you're definitely going to have to work on other area of effect units that are able to make up for the damage that your Farius is losing by not having an attack buff. As a little bit of a caveat off that subject, I'll go ahead and go through this conversation real quick too. Someone asks, so attack speed is always flat, and someone responds, always flat, yes. And then he goes ahead and shows you where you can see your attack speed in the gear organizer, and it does not have a % next to the name. To which I respond, attack speed is always flat, and 255 is maximum at 5-star. And he asks, what's the max if the gear hasn't been upgraded, so I can tell a good piece of gear if it drops? This is a sheet showing if you go into the game and then you click guide and then you click I think it was equipment power up effects, something like that. I also have a link to it in every description. You can actually see an entire Excel spreadsheet table of what your possible stats are from different gears. So 4-star, 5-star, its lowest number, its highest number, you can see all of it there. So I'll leave that up on the screen for about 2 seconds, and if you want, you could just pause it and look at it and reference it anytime you want. At which point I respond, max sub for a 5-star is 40, so if you have a speed substat on a piece of equipment and it's 5-star equipment, the highest that substat can be is 40. For crit rate, the highest substat you can get is 5, which is pretty much the substats that we're going for, because we're getting our penetration through a penetration ring and our penetration set effects, so it should be easy to reach maximum penetration. So the only subs we really need to focus on that much is crit rate and attack speed. Now, if you're having trouble getting a hold of 5-star gear, you can actually get it at the end of the Union chapter and in any part of the Season 2 chapter as well. So if you need 5-star gloves to get 255 attack speed, go ahead and find any, I think it's like section 4 that always, or chapter 4 that always drops the gloves, 4 or 5, check to make sure it drops 5-star gloves, sit there and times 10 that over and over until you get the attack speed. Now, if you get lucky and get a few attack speeds, the ideal way to do this is to get a green glove 5-star attack speed, and it will have a crit rate sub on it. Power it up, it will instantly power up the crit rate instead of worrying about other substats if it was blue, purple, or hero, or legendary. 5-star greens are pretty much going to outweigh the value of a 4-star blue because of the main priority stat increasing so much more than a regular 4-star main stat would increase. So just focus on getting 5-star equipments. If you don't have any yet, that's pretty much going to be a requirement. And you can get them very soon. You can pretty much beat the entire story in a few days, and then you have plenty of time to farm for those equipments. Now let's go back into the arena and see some of the units that, or some of the people that we're seeing at Gold 4. Our season ends in 5 days. That really means 6 because it counts the last 24 hours. So we're actually here so that we can see the people that we need to be fighting. These are the guys that you are going to be fighting, versus if we were in Platinum 4, you would be seeing absolutely Lakshmi, freaking Trevor, like the same 3 units on every single team. And here we can see we have a pretty good variety. This gentleman up here has the Magnus and the Agnes, the Magnus and the Agnes. We see 4 Popos, so Popo is very popular in the lower tiers. We see a lot of Terrax very popular in the lower tiers, but we do see a couple of different units as well, like Scarlet. We're seeing Examina and another, 2 Nacries and a Kairos, and it's not as similar to the teams that we see in the later games. All right, so thank you to everybody for attacking me as well. We see I was able to drop all the way to rank 255, but in my Hall of Fame, I'm still recorded as number 21, and I'm, from this point on, setting a strong defense, trying to push to as high as we can get in Platinum as we can. And here we can see the new defense that I'm going to be using. Basically the point of this defense, I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody, if you do not have units that have a good speed structure or a good, defensive structure, go ahead and separate everybody as far as you can, pretty much. Put them just like this. This is what all of the top end arena players do, because anyone using area of effects are only going to be able to take out one guy, and it's just going to make it more of a hassle to attack you, and a lot of people will skip you in doing that. So let's go ahead and take our team and see the type of guys that we're dealing with. We have 5 tickets and we'll go through the entire list. Now remember, we're not going to be attacking this person. They seem to be a low level. They probably don't have an insane amount of attack speed, but you do not want to chance it. Whenever you waste an arena ticket, not only are you wasting the chance to increase your score, but you're also going to decrease your score if you lose. Magnus is one of those units that if he's able to get off one skill, he completely changes the entire battlefield, and you will have absolutely no control over the units you need to have control of for a very long time. And we will probably end up losing if Magnus takes first turn. So we're able to move on to teams that we are able to take care of. Now, the thing about Popo is very popular right now. So if he's in there and he has the damage ignore, Farias is going to lose out on some of that damage. Now, Popo, whenever he does the damage ignore, it doesn't put a immunity buff on them, so they're still able to take debuffs. Farias's attack hits multiple times. Whenever the imprint of light hits everyone in the area, it will take off the damage ignore, and it will still be able to apply the imprint of light. The thing about Farias's imprint of light is whenever he uses any skill that has the imprint of light, we're able to do more damage. It doesn't show it right here, but if you have his SSR card, attacking an enemy that has imprint of light increases the damage by 15%. So the more people we put it on, we're going to be able to combo that damage increase with our radiation damage, and it's just going to be pretty devastating even if they ignore the first hit. And we have Tala built up to be a secondary nuke, so just in case something like that does happen, she's going to be able to come in and sweep up. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to frontline Nadine so that everyone's pretty much focused on Nadine, and then we're going to have Bannon just in the range to attack buff the people we need to attack buff. So this will be the position we take for teams that are sort of frontlined in the middle. Okay, so we see our Nadine is still taking turn 1. We're not really too worried about pushing anybody because they're already in a great position. So a good move is just going to be getting as many people with the defense break as possible. And I think I would be able to get Terrac and Kairos. There we go. So 2 defense breaks right there. Now whenever we pull everybody into the main circle, even going to this little corner right here, we're able to get Scarlet. So we'll pull everybody as close to Farias as possible. Attack buff Farias at this point, and now whenever Tala uses her second skill, we could actually probably end the entire team with these 2 turns, but I want to go ahead and show how much damage Farias's attack actually does, so I'm just going to crit rate buff it and let him take care of it by himself. So this is Farias by himself, just with the proper setup using this attack. Absolutely, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So yes, that is exactly the strategy we're going to be taking advantage of, and we're going to be pushing through all these teams that are grouped up like that in order to get to Platinum. Now this is a team that Nadine, or a pusher, is going to be very good for, so I'll go ahead and show you why whenever I set everybody up. Again, you just kind of make sure that most of the people are focused on Nadine, so that if they do decide to get some turns in there, that it's not really going to be too detrimental to your attackers, because Nadine is not going to be able to take care of very many players or very many teams by herself. All right, so check this out. Now, if I use Ziv's third skill, I'm 100% positive Lakshmi would not be in the range if I did it on Econ, and I don't think Popo would be in the range if I did it on Terrax. So, using Nadine, if we push Econ a little bit... Oh my god, I did the wrong skill. I had it highlighted, didn't I? Did I not have it highlighted? I don't know. Anyways, well, this will show what I'm talking about. If I was going to use this on Econ, we're missing out on Examina and Lakshmi. If I use it on Terrac, let's get her closer to Terrac, then we're still missing out on Examina and Popo. So who are we going to take care of? Now, this is a problem because the Examina is level 50, and she's going to be quite the pain in the butt. I'm going to say since Tarek's already defense broken, it should be fine to go ahead and take control of these three. Now, Egon is on our team, and he's going to first skill an enemy whenever it comes his turn. He's not too much of a threat if we don't take care of him at this point in time. But now this is a point, since we did not get everybody, we're definitely going to want to use Tala for her damage. Now, with her being able to do that, and then Farias being able to use this on these three, even though it's not enough to kill everybody because not everybody was pulled into the group, we're still entirely able to win the fight from this point. The thing about Examina here is she's put out her Shadow Clone. You cannot target Examina anymore. This little purple one, that is the real Examina. We can't hit her, so her Shade over there has 3 turns of damage ignore. So we have to hit that Shade 3 times before we're even able to touch Examina. But the thing about Ziv, his second skill actually hits 3 times. So we can take care of that Shade instantly and focus all of our damage on Examina, setting Tala as far away as possible so that she gets the biggest multiplier of her first skill. Using Nadine, we can actually defense break her right now. But I'm thinking that we go for the attack bar decrease, because if we see she's going to take a turn after Farias, and she's level 50, she's probably really built, and we don't want her to take a turn at all. So we either have a second skill stun that also puts speed break on her. So if we use that and we get the stun, she loses a turn. If we get the speed break, she loses a turn but still takes her turn. But if we get both, she essentially loses multiple turns, because as we talked about attack bar earlier, it's going to take her twice as long to fill attack bar. Filling it all the way one time isn't going to net her a turn unless Lakshmi cleanses her. So I think this is going to be more effective than doing this, because even if we use the dislocation and we push back her attack bar, she's probably still going to get a turn because Lakshmi is going in between and she will be able to heal her up. Just like that, stun and speed break. She is absolutely not taking a turn now. I'll go ahead and use the third skill on her. She's pretty much done at this point. Her turn is over. She still has to fill her entire attack bar. She's not going anywhere. So let's just go ahead and finish her off, and at this point we will finish the rest of the fight with auto. All right, and that's another victory under our belt. We still haven't even gotten to the point where we had to use rage skills, and we have some pretty good rage skills under our belt as well. So moving on to the next one. They got a little bit of a strat going. Now, I have a feeling that if we use Ziv's third skill on Tarak, that one of them isn't going to be in the range. I think it might be Ziv. So what it might be smartest to do is put everybody as far away from Ziv as possible. Hold on. Everybody that needs to be doing our damage, at least, as far away from Ziv as possible so he doesn't really take control of them. And then we can have Nadine eat the Ziv attack. And I think my Ziv will actually be faster, so we'll put him up here too. So now, most of the enemies are targeting Ziv and Nadine, and if their enemy Ziv goes to take a turn, he's not going to get our units because they're too far away. All right, starting the match, we're just going to push Nadine forward. She's not going to be in range to hit anybody, but she's going to be there to eat an attack if we need her to. Now, if we do this on Tarak, it's going to bring everyone closer to Farias, and Marissa was actually able to resist the pull, so effect accuracy is another important stat that we're going to want on our Ziv. So since we're not only hitting 3 people, we're going to do the strategy of using Tala to secondary nuke and do a decent amount of damage, and now we can use Farias to try and get these 3 if possible. We're still able to take them out. So even though the thing is, he's still doing radiation damage and he's still putting on his imprint of light. So even if we're only hitting 3 people, we're really still doing like 200% damage to those units. Let's go ahead and heal up Ziv. The thing about Marissa is if she's left unchecked, she's immovable right now, so she was absolutely unable to do anything. But if she's left unchecked and you focus on someone else, she can absolutely turn the entire fight around by killing one of your units, getting her rage bar, and killing another one. And then if she has looting, she can 1v3 very easily. But this is going to be another victory under our belt, already almost halfway to platinum from gold 4 just for these 2 or 3 fights. Now this next one, again, same strategy. A lot of the people are using grouped enemies. If they were too far spread apart, we would be skipping, or if they had a Magnus, we would be skipping. Now they're so grouped up, and I think we can actually put Nadine back in front line. We can put Ziv right there, and we can partner everyone up pretty well again. So let's go ahead and do this and start. All right, I'm having trouble believing that everybody would be in the range of Ziv's third skill if I did it on Nakri, because Kairos is a little far back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Ziv's third skill on Tala and have to move everybody up a little bit. So let's get some defense breaks going so that whenever we do the imprint of light, it'll do more damage. There, if we use it on Tala, everybody's selected. If we do it on on Nakri, not everybody is selected. Same thing with Lakshmi. So definitely do it on the back member of Tala so we can get everybody in the circle. Bannon, same setup, attack buff, bringing Tala in. Now we see Nakri and Kairos are going to take a turn. Kairos is melee, so Tala's second skill is going to put a movable on him, and he's not going to be able to take that turn, as well as it's probably going to do a lot of damage and kill Nakri. Since she's defense broken, Tala has very high multipliers and an attack buff, so let's see. All right, so pretty crazy damage. Of all the people not to get a movable on, it was Kairos that didn't get it, but it's absolutely fine. If we use Imprint of Light, we'll take care of these three. And hold on, did he live? Wow, very tanky Popo. So now we can use Ziv to decrease attack bar of Kairos so he doesn't end up getting a turn before we're able to kill him. So we're able to push back his attack bar. And then at this point, Nadine, this is the highest multiplier skill. Kill. And too easy. With one more support left, you know what we do. We just sit on full auto and take care of it. And that's it, pushing us halfway to platinum already. So that was just with 4 wings because we didn't hit the guy with Magnus. We're not worried about those 12 extra arena tokens. Arena tokens come and go easily. Whether you win or lose, we definitely don't want to lose rating, especially whenever we're climbing. Now, if you're really rushing for plat, do not forget that it is absolutely okay to buy arena tokens because you get 5 of them for 30 gems. 30 gems is absolutely nothing, and that's very, very good rating that you can get with 5 extra tokens. So not only that, but you can get 5 extra tickets as well with friendship points. So if you send points to your friends are using your rep, you pretty much have 15 arena tickets to use at the beginning of the day, which could jump you an entire rank. So that's going to be it for day 2, y'all. We're working on it. We're getting there. If you're having trouble, join the Discord. Everybody's helping everybody. It's doing very well. If you are just wanting a place to hang out and chat, join as well. But other than that, that's going to do it for me today, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully you learned some things that you didn't know yesterday that could help you out now. So ask questions. I'll answer them tomorrow, and I'll see you later. Bye.